Hey y'all, I'm James Wright and welcome to my shop. Today I want to talk about buffing compound. Now recently I did a video on the strops that I make, showing how to make them and what I like about strops and how to use them. But I had a lot of questions about the buffing compound that I sell with them and how do you make that? And it's really a simple process, but I want to kind of go through and show some of the fun that you can have with making a simple chrome oxide compound. So the first thing we need is a mold to put it into. Now these ones that I sell with the strops, I just put those in a simple ice cube tray. Work really well, they clean off the top easily. It's a very, very simple one to make. So if you can grab yourself an ice cube tray, you're golden. But if you want something a little bit more fun, you can look up a candy mold. And this is a candy mold that has the carbonate compound that you can make. So normally you'd fill these with chocolate, but I'm going to be filling them with chrome oxide. Or you really want to get into it, you can make your own mold. And that's where I had these. My brother actually 3D printed these for me, so I could put them into this and make up the molds. I want to show you how I make this. So all the information on things that I make, the silicone and that type of thing, they're down in the description below, so you can find that down there. So let's actually go and look at how we actually make this mold out of silicone. Three line, should be right there. Three, hair above three, so we'll go hair above four. This one pours easier. So I got 30 minutes starting now. Dig these out. Let's see. Nice. Now the recipe for a chrome oxide compound is really simple. It's just a chrome oxide and a wax. You can make a wax from just about any wax you want. I like to use beeswax because I have it on hand. A lot of people like paraffin and other types of wax, but the beeswax I really like. It's quick and simple. The chrome oxide as itself is very expensive, so making one or two is cost prohibitive, but making a whole batch of them, you can get the price down a little ways. I'll leave a link to these down in the description below as well. So let's take these up to the kitchen, melt them down, throw them into our mold, and see what we've got. So here's the chrome oxide. I'm just going to pour all of this in. I don't want much. I can always add more wax, but now I can't add any more chrome, so I'm just going to put in about that much. It should be far more chrome oxide than wax. Waiting for the wax to melt. Now most of the time I'm actually going to throw the wax in on the bottom first, let that melt, and then put the chrome oxide into it, but I didn't think about this time, so oh well. So now it's at the consistency where it's kind of like this clay. It's not quite a runny, but it's not compactable. And that's usually about the best place for it, but if I want to put it into a mold, I need a little bit more runny than that. So we need to add a little bit more beeswax to it. And all of a sudden it turns to this. And that's right about the state we want it. We're going to let it soak for a little bit longer, let that wax completely melt down, and then we'll move it over and put it in our mold. Oh shoot, I didn't grab a popsicle stick. I have to rethink that with this mold. It's the first time I've used this mold, so it's a little smaller than the ones I've used in the past. But I think I can make it work. Save that one and remelt it next time. So now you have a mess you need to clean up, and thankfully once it's cool, most of the time it breaks off or it chips off, and so you can kind of scratch it off. Or you can throw it in the dishwasher. It does melt in the dishwasher, which I've done a few times. Just don't tell your wife. Or you can do what I do, just set this aside and use it next time and leave all the bits in here to be melted, and they'll melt down again and you can use them again. When it comes to the molds, then you just take all these pieces, pop them out, and there you go. You have your carbonite buffing compound ready to be used. So we can set these out. Then I've got my new ones here, which I'm really looking forward to seeing these. Because any of this excess here you can break off and put back into the pot. But then you have these ready to use. So you can make a mold for any shape that you want. And if you're doing it, probably just need one. But for me, I make a whole pile of these to sell. So there you have it. I'm actually really happy with how these came out. They're a little bit more detailed, and I think the next batch I'll be able to get them out a little bit better. But I'm really happy with the results. Making the compound itself is not a difficult or complex thing. You just have to mix together your compound, your wax, put it into a mold, and voila, you have a block ready to use. It is very expensive if you just need one block, and one of these blocks will last you for a long time. One of these is probably 2 to 3 years worth of supply for me. So making them yourself may or may not be fun, but you may find something that you want that specific mold and go for it. Now I will be selling these on my website as well as the strops, and so if you want to see more information on that, go ahead and head over to my website. I'll leave a link to that down below. So that's about it for today. I hope you enjoyed this, and until next time, have a wonderful day. So if I had a whole bunch of these and I put them in a big room, could I call it a wax compound museum?